now featuring air conditioning. So yeah, this is the final May video, and it's supposed to be a Pikmin segment, because I always try to end the month with those, but Joel is currently in Vietnam, so we can't record that. And by Vietnam, I mean, like, I think Houston. Also, I'm recording this before actually uploading the other one, so if people have told me what this song is, I haven't seen it yet. Down, up, and forward. If this is a water maze, then at least I have directions. Because water mazes are unpleasant. Okay, that didn't really... Yeah, that wasn't a water maze. What do we got here? Something that I potentially need a metal cap for. And, bunch of really weird geometry. Alright, let's see what we're doing. And apparently mess up a triple jump in the process. Let me turn this up a little bit. I think it's a little quiet. That's what happens when I, like, record things back to back, but do like, I was, like, watching YouTube stuff while it was rendering, so I messed with the volume and then didn't bother doing a audio test for this one, so we're just gonna kind of hope that it is not a problem. And the video's over, and the audio has been just replaced with, like, a duck choking on a car accident between a fire truck and a car full of squeaky toys. Okay, how did I mess that up that badly? Is there even any reason for me to do this? Yeah, there is. Okay. I might actually end up doing all of the red coins and the 100 coin for this one, because I don't know if I want to bother coming back to this location later. Wow, this sucks. Also, these pillars just remind me of the I-beam thing from Sesame Street, which there was like this... I feel like I've probably mentioned this in another video at some point, but there was like this thing in Sesame Street where they were like showing an I-beam being made with like really aggressive music playing, and apparently it terrified a lot of kids. I just randomly found that like years ago on TV Tropes. For some reason, the the TV Tropes page on Nightmare Fuel has like a lot of things in it that I've... Oh, you know what, let's just grab this, I'm right here. A lot of things that I've just made note of. Like, there's that, there's the fact that people said that, like, Skyward Sword could have, like, things considered Nightmare Fuel because if you have tryptophobia, the game has lotus pods. It's like, oh no. That's a really weird thing to point out. Back up and shoot to the ship. MC. Well, I don't have the metal cap, so I can't get this one. I can probably still do the coin mission, and there's most likely other areas I haven't explored yet, but I don't know where. So if the switch opens the gate, then this is the metal cap bit right here. Can we get the damn coin? Can we ninja kick the damn rabbit? Can we find... I'm trying to think what other random Nightmare Fuel stuff there was. I found I Want to Be the Guy from the page on Nintendo Hard. I got married because of the one that just went over random Let's Players. From the sound of things, it sounds like I'm on TV Tropes quite a bit. I'm really not. Like, recently I did actually read through the page on Mother 3 just because I was bored, but I don't usually go to that site that often. Okay, yeah, this is the starting point. Because it's kind of ass on mobile. It's always harassing you with like, you're not displaying ads, oh my god. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I can't help it, I'm on mobile. It's not, I don't have a thing installed. Remember like 2 years ago when I was like constantly bitching about people using like their phones for anything? Now I kind of do it myself. I'm still pretty tame, though. I still refuse to download any apps on it. Pretty much without exception. I had Snapchat for, like, half a year because I knew somebody else who had it, and that was pretty much it. And then I got rid of it because I never used it. Because I'm not the kind of person who would use that. It's very much just kind of a, like... I don't know, there's aspects of like, social media culture that I just don't really get. Like, the need to constantly be updating people with your opinions and, like, random photos and shit. Like, I don't get that. That's why I don't really use Twitter either. Like, I use it to announce my streams and basically nothing else. And I never go to it unless I'm making that announcement. So, like, the very few number of people that I'm following on there, I never see what they post anyway, because I don't ever look. So yeah, I had that. I have the application, and that's the other thing. I really, really hate the word app, and that's probably because of Maddox, because, like, I just remember him complaining about it once and saying that, like, it's a stupid buzzword, and I kind of agree. Like, I would prefer to just call them programs, but, I mean, I get that it's not as, like, flashy sounding, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, I have the one for Chase Bank, because that's... I kind of need it. Oh, that was a good thing there. And, I think that's it. I tried the, like, the live translation thing that, like, you point the camera at stuff and it translates it, because I wanted to see if it would work on my copy of Japanese Pokemon Blue, and it didn't, so I uninstalled it. But yeah, I've never felt the need to have a game on my phone. So the only thing I ever use it for is the browser, basically. Oh, this is good. That one stuck around for a lot longer than I expected it to. Is there something down here? It's okay. Why is there... Well, there's another switch. Not that I can do anything with it, but I certainly didn't know it was there. Let me see if there's a way to fix this camera. Okay, that was hitting L. There we go. Was I aware of this cave? I don't remember if I've been in that one. I guess I'll check, but let me get the coins first. Because, you know, there's nothing more thrilling than slowly swimming around trying to find coins. The music would lead you to believe that it's thrilling, though. Still the best music ever. Okay, I think we've gone full circle. So, where was that cave? Oh yeah, I've almost certainly been in this one, because it's, like, really obvious. Oh, I thought it was, like, underneath the, texture. I couldn't really tell. That's some, really weird physics on those coins. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so I guess Most of this area is probably cleaned out. I should probably go find some reds. I know there are a few in that weird I-beam room. Is this the one that leads to the side level? Yeah, we don't want to go in there. Well, too bad. We're going in anyway. I like how I always swim past the loading zone on that. So, remember in Mario and Luigi, when I kept saying that, like, I might be able to make this video, like, at least have something to talk about in it if I had anything to talk about? And how, like, I think there's something going on at work, but I can't think of what it is. I still don't think there actually was anything going on at work, but, now that some time has passed, I can safely say that, it really sucks that we don't really have working air conditioning. Like, I don't know if it's not working, or if they just refuse to turn it down any lower. I think it's possibly a bit of both. But, like, last year, sometime in the summer, I think it was last year, I've worked there for slightly over 2 years now. It's currently May of 2019. I started in, I think, March of 2017. But, yeah, it's like sometime last year, there was this period of time where the air conditioning just didn't work at all. And it was fucking awful. But they sort of did things to try and help with it a little bit. Like, they had a bunch of big fans set up. It wasn't much, but it was something, and they did eventually get it fixed. But, so it's May, and to me, that's still spring. Like, I think according to, like, the definitions of seasons, it's also still spring, but I don't know when they start and end. But, like, it shouldn't be that hot yet, but it is, because it's Texas, and it's like, fuck you. But, it's just been unbearably bad. And it doesn't help that I get, like, seriously overworked there. And I complain about it a lot, but I know I'm not the only one that, like, has to deal with a lot of shit. It's just I get annoyed because I always feel like I'm not getting enough help from people, but I also don't really help people myself, so I have no room to complain. But anyway, it's just, I think, like, we have thermostats in the office, and they show the temperature of the front lobby, the, like, mid-kitchen is what they call it, where I work, like, by the ovens and stuff, and, the back kitchen, which is where the dishwasher is. Can we fucking kill this boo? But yeah, there's the three things, and I've checked a couple times, and I think the highest I've seen it is 91, and the lowest I've seen it is like 87. So there's not much variance. Like, I'll leave at, okay, can we freaking kill this boo, please? There we go. It wasn't worth it, but I wanted to do it. But yeah, it's like I'll leave at midnight or 1 a.m. and it'll still be 87 degrees. It's really freaking unbearable. And, they won't put it below 70. And the reason that they won't do that is most likely because last year when the air conditioning broke, the reason that it broke was allegedly because somebody turned it down too low and it, like, froze the system and ruined it. So it's basically like a sick, twisted version of... Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to my coin count. Cool. It's like a sick, twisted version of that episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs won't let them touch the thermostat. Except in this case, having the, like, winter wonderland that ensues afterwards would actually be a nice outcome. But yeah, they won't put it below 70. It certainly does not get the store down to 70. It is freaking sweltering in there. So, like, I'll take any excuse I can get to go into the walk-in fridge and just kind of stand there for a minute and, like, die slightly. And it's like, I'm working with food, so I can't even, like, wipe the sweat off my forehead and stuff that often. Like, I can use my sleeve, but I try to not do it. Because no matter what, people are gonna bitch. Like, you dropped something on the floor and then threw it away? I don't want you dropping stuff in front of me. That implies that you might serve it to me. What, you threw something away? What, you've got a garbage can in this store? What, you're serving garbage here? Is that what you're telling me? I'm calling the police. Note that this was an exaggeration. That conversation never actually happened, but I wouldn't be surprised. Apparently at the store that Martin works at, they have a new rule now, because apparently the health department has made this a rule. When you put the pizza in the box, like, here's the process. It's a very simple process, and you don't need to know anything about working in a restaurant to understand this. So, pizza comes out of oven, you pick it up with, like, a pair of tongs, you put it on a peel, which is like a big wooden thing, you cut it, you put it in a box. Simple process. So, usually, when the pizza is about to come out, but it isn't, like, fully out yet and still, like, has another 30 seconds or so to cook, they will get the box ready. They'll take the box, they'll open it, they'll set it down. And if it needs, like, the crisper sheet inside of it, they'll put that in, and, like, sauce and all that stuff. You're not allowed to do that. And the reason is because if you have an open box on the counter, dust might fall into it. I'm just gonna let that one sink in. So, not only is that completely idiotic, because, like, there's so many reasons why that's stupid. Like, if dust is falling into this box during the, like, 30 seconds that it's open, what's stopping the dust from falling on the pizza while you're cutting it? What's stopping the dust from falling inside the, like, containers of toppings that we have that are almost always open because you don't have enough time to shut it after every single order? Like, what? It's so dumb. But apparently it's a rule. We haven't started doing that at my store yet, but that's also because our store doesn't really worry that much about it, because nobody ever wants to clean, so we just kind of don't. Okay, that's an exaggeration. That's making the store sound worse than it really is. Under old management, the manager there was kind of a neat freak, and so we would kind of, like, scrub the walls and, like, make everything perfect kind of more often than we really needed to. Now it's, like, the exact opposite, where that basically never happens. But in terms of, like, making sure that food isn't, like, getting infected or, like, dirty or sitting out and expiring, like, we're careful about that stuff, and I'll clean the table and shit, but it's, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's freaking stupid. So I don't know if there's anything left in this level for me to get. There probably is. Like, let's see, there's a couple switches that I can't hit. There's a star up there that I'm not sure how to reach, but it says back up and shoot to the ship, so there's probably a cannon. There's a box behind a gate here. There were a couple Bob-omb buddies behind a gate somewhere. I don't know, like, if there's anything else to do, so I might actually just kind of want to leave. I could do the pirate ship stage, though. Apparently it's level 15. So I guess we'll look at that. Nothing like entering a level and taking massive damage. There's a secret around here that's nearby that pit. Shekels and... Shekels. Chin's been down there. What the hell? Alright. Well, there's something down there. So I have no idea what this song is. Ooh. Is this where the shekels go? I don't know if I want to go down there. That sounds like a bad time. What? What? Did I lose a life from that? No. Okay, that's kind of interesting. The inter-level connectivity. What's your story? Who be you in these time arg? Okay, so I'm already lost. Find me crew, help me escape when I'm ready, which me not. So you don't want me to find your crew? Okay, I mean, I guess I don't have to. Anyway, I think we actually need to do that again. Because there was a vanish cap in there, and I can potentially use that to get behind a different gate. It's probably not what I meant to do. Because that was star number 6. That was probably intended to be the last one you find. But let's try it anyway. Strong badge kitchen table. Yeah, I don't like this death pit. I don't know why. It gives me creepy vibes. It's reminding me of something, and I don't know what it is. Alright, so let's see if this does anything. Oh, do you land on a 1-up? That's why. So you do lose a life, but the game makes up for it. Okay, where is the other gate? There's one of them. We cannot get through that one. Where was that one with the Bob-omb buddies? Was that his crew? There's a city in the sky where they captured my crew. A Jedi's gotta do what a Jedi's gotta do. So Lord Vader, I'm coming for you. Star Wars gangster rap might have been the worst thing ever. Uncle Owen, you know I'm on probation. Okay, I haven't been over here yet. Let's continue doing whatever it is that I'm doing now and see if we can get up there. You know what else was kind of bad? Was Console Wars. Was it... I don't remember if it was called The Empire Strikes Out or what it was, but it was like a Flash cartoon parody of Star Wars, but about, like, video game stuff. And it was from the, like, GameCube, PS2, Xbox era, I believe. The main things I remember from it were R2-D2 was called VMU2. It was a VMU from the Dreamcast, like the memory card thing. Luke was Luigi Pipewalker, whose brother was secretly Darth Vader. I don't remember what his name was. I mean, it's Mario, but I don't know what his, like, pun name was. It was probably something stupid. Can we get up there, please? Okay, well, I found another star. So how was I supposed to get this? Certainly not the way I just did. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. But, Yeah, there's this scene where Luigi's, like, standing there on, like, Tatooine or whatever. Oh. Okay. I guess that would have made boxes appear, so that works. He's standing there, and he's just like, I sure wish I knew who my brother was. And then a ship lands, like, right behind him as he says this, and then he, like, grins into the camera. I'm like, what the fuck? There's the scene where they go into, like, the like, what's usually the bar, like, the hive of scum and villainy or whatever, and, it's supposed to be, like, the bar of, like, failed video game mascots, and there's, like, Gex and a bunch of stuff in there, and, Banjo and Kazooie are there, and some, like, I forget if it's Luigi or who it is, like, sits next to them, and then, like, the dialogue box with the talking head pops up, and it's like, she doesn't like you. I don't like you either. That was kind of funny. I already read this sign. What else was in that thing? I did, like, I found the video relatively recently because I wanted a screenshot of VM Mewtwo. Which just sounds like Mewtwo, but, I didn't actually watch it. So it's like, it's probably been a good 10 to 15 years since I've actually watched this thing. So I'm shocked I remember as much of it as I do. It definitely suffers from the same problem that a lot of Flash cartoons do, in that, like, the one female character they have, which is Princess Zaya instead of Zelda or Leia, is clearly just, like, either the sister or, like, only, like, female friend that one of the creators had, who, like, didn't really want to voice act, but kind of was forced to do it anyway. And so you can very clearly tell that, like, no effort was put into her lines. I'm trying to think of, like, other things that's present in, but I feel like that's a pretty common thing in old Flash movies. There was this one really shitty one on Albino Black Sheep that, I don't remember what it was called. It was just, like, it was some generic thing like The Great Adventure or something. It's, like, very forgettable. And there's a part where, like, they go to the island of the hot chicks. It's like, oh, great, okay. It's very, very funny. But, one of them had, like, this microphone that basically sounded like a tin can with a string tied to it. So it's like, oh, you have a microphone, just record your lines and send them over to me, and we'll put them in the movie. And then they get it, and it's like, oh, this is actually really shitty sounding, but I guess we'll use it anyway. Is that box even needed? I feel like I could just make that jump anyway. Yes, I could. Okay, these, however, I probably could not. Is this a star? Yeah. Okay, I thought that was like a weird tree. That's a chandelier. I just want to see if there's anything over here. Why is it semi-transparent? Alright, I'll grab that star. This level seems like it still has a bunch of stuff in it, though. Was this a full 6-star stage? I didn't really pay attention. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and clear this one out as much as possible. I still feel weird doing levels out of order, but whatever. Every single time I go into this level, I forget how derpy the music is. Also, it's a little annoying having to get to it like this, but at least this isn't like a randomizer where an entrance to a main level is inside the metal cavern entrance, so you have to go through Hazy Maze Cave every time. God, that reminds me, I did like, I wasn't streaming or recording or even really intending to get very far when I did this, but I loaded up a seed in the Mario 64 randomizer once, and this thing was amazing. I'm trying to think. Bob on Battlefield led to, I want to say, TikTok Clock. And so, like, you can get a star there, and then when you leave, you come out of the TikTok Clock entrance, so you're on the top floor. And normally on the top floor, you have access to TikTok Clock, Rainbow Ride, Wing Mario Over the Rainbow, and potentially Bowser in the Sky, but only if you have enough stars or if you can be LJ, which the randomizer changes, so you can't do that. So you have 3 levels you can go in. Those 3 levels were all of the wing cap, or were all of the cap courses. So basically, what you had to do, like, keeping in mind, when you leave a level, it takes you out of the vanilla exit. So leaving Wing Cap would put you in the castle lobby. Leaving Vanish Cap would put you in the moat outside the castle. And leaving Metal Cap would take you out of the Hazy Maze Cave entrance. And Hazy Maze Cave led to Rainbow Ride. So it just went back to the same area. What am I even doing? So effectively, you were just kind of locked to, like, you couldn't go anywhere except for TikTok Clock, because everything else was, like, 1 star and then that's it. Or no, I guess you had Rainbow Ride also. But yeah, you were basically just locked into the last 2 levels of the game until you had enough stars to get somewhere else, because I don't remember how many stars it took to open any other doors in the castle, because it's not vanilla. It's not always going to just be like 1 to get into Womp's Fortress, that kind of thing. So that was a pretty good seed. Like, that was just uncanny how that managed to happen. Anyway, I guess I'm doing coin collecting. I wasn't planning on it, but that seems to be what I'm doing anyway. Why do I feel like I've already done this? Probably because I have, but I didn't actually get all the right coins, yeah. I'm too busy talking about old Flash movies, so I don't remember what I've done. I'm fine with that, though. I like it when I actually have random commentary that has nothing to do with what's going on. It seems to, like, I always seem to get good material with hacks of this game for some reason. I guess because it usually doesn't require that much brain power. Like, I can just kind of explore the level and not have to worry about, like, missing important dialogue or, like, learning new mechanics, because it's usually the same kind of stuff. Okay, I want to get up here. I think I've already been up here, but I'm determined to do it anyway. There we go. I guess I didn't need to do it. Ooh, is that a secret? No, that was a bookend. The hell? You gonna attack me? Alright. Oh boy, Mr. I on a platform where there's no room to run around it. Okay, so that means I need to get hit on purpose and then use invincibility frames to try and circle around it real quick. There we go. Those things are a pain in the ass. It didn't look that bad, but that's because I had save states. And because I'm awesome. No, I'm not actually that good at this game. People think I'm good at this game. But they also think that there's a wage gap. I don't know. I used to think that there was a wage gap, because everybody acted like it was true. Then I found out that it wasn't true, and then I'm like, oh, that's really stupid that people think that there is one then. And then Rick and Morty mentioned it once, and I'm like, okay, why are we bringing this up? They didn't even mention it in, like, an ironic way, where, like, Rick called her out on it afterwards. Like, it sounded like they were playing it straight. Alright, well, that's ready for picking up whenever I'm ready to pick it up. What do we got here? That's a way On'll you know how. Well, I look forward to it. It's an intelligence test. As advertised by a sign that had made a very obvious spelling error. Also, wasn't this game supposed to be kind of like intentionally glitchy or something? There's like... Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna... Words. Sentence. I am not gonna bother collecting all these, because it seems like it's a pain in the ass. Are there only 3? Usually there's 5. But I'll have to come do that later. Okay, I think I've been up there. Definitely been on the chandelier. Well, let's go do the intelligence quest. The Pokemon Diamond and Pearl... No, Intellectual Training Drill Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Letter and Number Intelligence game for the Sego Pico Bina. That's a sequence of words. The game that we cannot actually prove exists. It's listed on Bulbapedia, but only in, like, dead link red text in a list of side games. There's no article attributed to it. There's no information at all, other than it allegedly exists. The Sega Pico Bina. I know what the Sega Pico is, because that came out in, like, the mid to late 90s, I think, and it's, like, this weird-ass, like, you, like, put a book in it, and there's, like, a stylus, and you poke it, and there's, like, a grid with a bunch of dots that the stylus recognizes. I don't know, it's weird. But I don't know what the Bina is. That's a good name, though. There's just kind of a whole underwater section, isn't there? I don't know if I want to go down there. I need to get 8 more coins. If there's a ring down here, that would be enough. And speak o' the devil. Well, I be a Goomba's uncle, if that ain't Mario in the flesh. I actually don't remember what the exact line is. There's a lot of lines from Mario RPG that I just randomly remember verbatim. Because I was going through that game with Joel a couple weeks ago, and I've been watching Grand Pooh Bear play it. And, I've just kind of come to the conclusion that, like, there's a lot of random words in the English language that I learned from that game. So I can, like, specifically remember reading it for the first time and not knowing what it meant. And just weird phrases like, bought the farm. And I just remember strange exclamations like, funga foiled again. Are those playing cards? This is the level that keeps on giving, apparently. Like, funga foiled again. And also, I also remember specifically in the strategy guide, there's a point where it mentions, like, for, Toadstool's move Comeback, which revives a party member. It says that, like, once you have this move, if you have her on your team, you don't really need to use pick-me-ups anymore, but you should still keep a few around just in case the princess herself gets bopped. Specifically, those words. Just in case the princess herself gets bopped. I always found that very odd-sounding. Mainly because it kind of is, but it was memorable. I sure wish I knew who my brother was. Down the fish trap, huh? Well, that's probably the water section. If an Isa had to guess... What the hell was that? If an Isa had to guess... Ifin is just a good word. And by word, I mean Strong Bad's kitchen table. You look like a broomstick, I look like a coat rack. Skinny tall. She dead. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't know if it's actually enough of that, but oh, there was a coin ring down here too. Alright. So what are we doing? Water maze? When in doubt, water maze. Also underwater sniffets. And Xbox One fish that swim out of the way when you get near them. The newest technologies. I mean, nobody... How did it go? It was like, I applaud your use of, like, obscure video formats. I mean, nobody shoots on air freshener anymore, but maybe, just maybe, that's not a camera and it's just a key lime pie air freshener. It's very state-of-the-art. Sonora Card Gauge is the best character, I don't care what anyone says. Protuberances abound, Dagaleth. Introduce you to the family might could. Alright, Big Boo's a poker playa. Well, I did see playing cards, so let's, the hell? This is weird looking. Let's awkwardly circle around the level a few times until I get there, because I never remember where anything is. I think it's over here. Unnecessary whistling. Also, going the wrong way. Okay, this is fine. Alright, what we got going on? Okay, well this seems fairly straightforward. It's just the go on a ghost hunt mission. But this time with cards. Come to me, my son. It's the Master of Menace, the Bargondlia the Big Boo. Oh no, not Mecha Boom Boo, Boo Boom, Boo Boo Boom, Bobo Bo, Bob. Bop, bop, blop, bop. Peeing on that, bop. What would it be like if house? Yeah, yeah. That was the best rendition of that song you've ever heard. Yeah! Wait, is this just an exit into... It is. It's weird. Why did that also lead there? Also, why is there a line of Kern? Line of Kern. Why? Why line of Kern? Why is it there? I do not know what it is, but of a Peach repair. One day I'll have to try to explain the... Oh, but I do not know what it is, but of a Peach repair. Because I don't really have an explanation for it, and it's not something that I usually ever say, either. So it's like... I don't know. It's weird. Oh, but I do not know what it is, but of a Peach repair. Has to be said as quickly and incoherently as possible. I will say that it's from the same source as, quickly, when the mailman knocks, first put on your shoes and then put on your socks. but I have even less of an explanation for this one. Okay, at this point, whatever, let me just fucking explain it. So, I had... Here's the letter, number, intelligence game. There was this random book that I had as a kid, and calling it a book is, like, generous. I don't know what this thing was. It was like an activity book, kind of, but not really. And I don't know where it came from, or, like, what century it was from. But it was... I just remember the beginning of it having, like, a bunch of weird sayings. And one of them was, like, quickly, quickly, when the mailman knocks, put on your shoes and socks. Which I then exaggerated to be, first put on your shoes and then put on your socks. That's not what it actually said, but I like to imagine that it did. That's failed to jump a few more times, by the way. But it's like, I don't know what the context of these were, like why it just kind of had this list of random rhymes. Because they weren't, like, clever or interesting. But one of them was something to do with, like... If you don't know if a baby is a boy or a girl, then, like, you... Something, like, ask if it's a peach or a pear. I have no clue. This makes no sense, the way I'm explaining it, but it's because I don't remember what it was. It made no sense to me as a kid, either. And so, I've just exaggerated that into now, like... in a lot of, like, old-fashioned types of writing, there's always, like, a bunch of unnecessary words, I always feel. And, okay, how is this an intelligence test? I'm supposed to just figure out which the correct one is, but I'm not sure what the, like, trick would be. Anyway, so that's why I've turned it into O, but I do not know what it is but of a peach or a pear. It's just a long sequence of, like, prepositions and articles that have nothing to do with anything. Okay, do I just pick one that's, like, not above another one, or, like, how, I don't get this. Like, this is the only big one, so is this the correct one? No. Which one is furthest from the rest? This? Oh, wait, hold on. That was... Okay, this one doesn't have a darker border. Is that always going to be the case, or how do you tell? I think all of these have the dark border. I mean, there's the one with, like, the platform in the middle. Obviously, that one's a little different. Okay, I guess that worked. What the hell was that? That was stupid. I wouldn't call that the intelligence test. I'd just call that guess 3 times. Because, like, for the second one of them had a different border, but one of them was also larger, so, like, how do you know which is the correct one? The answer is you do not know what it is but of a peach or a pear. But I swear this book just came from, like, a spooky tower. Like... I have a better... let me explain what I mean by that. So it wasn't actually a spooky tower, but, God, when I was younger, my grandma worked at a hotel for a number of years. She was basically, like, night shifts, like, running the lobby and doing paperwork and stuff. And, I think very briefly before this job, she had a different job somewhere that was like... I have to ask what this place was, because I don't remember, and she probably won't remember it either, because she never remembers anything, which is unfortunate. But, it was like... It was either like a radio tower, like, not a radio tower, but like... I remember it being a very, very small building that had at least 2 floors. It was like a tall shack. And I don't know what it was. and but like the main thing I remember from it was because I did go there once. I don't know why, but the main thing I remember, or at least misremember, is from like above the stairwell where you couldn't reach it. There were a bunch of shelves, and I swear this book came from one of those shelves. Like, I've got nothing. I'm probably making this up. It's just weird memories that I am attributing to things that didn't happen. But the pit wagon star, okay then. Well, anyway. We've, cleaned out these levels aside from the ones I can't get without caps. So I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. The next level was the one with the Sammer Kingdom music, right? Up here. Is this level 3? No. This kind of just looks like its own thing. But I'll save it for next time anyway. And then we'll figure out where to go, and then I'll probably pee.